Right, welcome to another lesson in high school ICT. In this lesson I want to carry on from our previous lesson where we looked at our data sheet view and then we also looked at our design view. In our design view you'll see that we have something that looks like a little key over here, and if I click on student ID you see that it is grade. And basically what a primary key does, if you hover it says we designate the selected field or fields as the primary key. And the reason that we have a primary key, it locks it. So for example, when you log on to Cambly Learn, you type in your username and password so that it is specific. It will open up your information, it's specific to you. If I look at my design view, if I've got Susan Smith, and you can see over here I've got student ID, and if you go back we had auto number, so it meant that it just generated its own number. I could have set my primary key on ID number. I'll speak about that in a minute, but I've chosen to leave it on student ID. And why do I have that? So that when I type in student ID and I'd say Susan in front of me, I say, right, what is your student ID? And she says it's 1. I type in 1, then it will bring up all the information to do with Susan Smith. Why do I need that? Because there could be many Susan Smiths in the world. So it wouldn't help if I set my primary key on name and I had it as Susan. That doesn't mean it because there are many Susans. But when I allocate either the student ID number or her own ID number or anything that is unique to a user or an object. I could have had a collection of CDs or DVDs, for example. Not that we have DVDs and CDs anymore, but I must have a collection, or old LPs, and I've put them into my table. I would then say CD ID or DVD or LP ID, for example, and then I know that all the information to do with the first one, the first record, remember these are fields going down, these are records going across. So the first record that I've recorded would be CD1, and then all the information, let's say it was about Michael Jackson, for example. Not that I listen to his music, but let's say that was a particular CD. Okay, so that's why I have this thing called a primary key. This is a flat file database. In other words, we only have one table. We can put more tables in, and later we will discuss relational databases where we actually link the two together to prevent redundancy, in other words, a repetitive of information that I don't need to put in. All right. The other thing that I want to show you as well, we have our text formatting grouping over here, bold, italics, etc., that you know from Word and spreadsheets and presentations as well. You can also change your to center, to the right, to the left, and then you can also have it where you can show the grid lines. Sometimes they'll ask you to have it as vertical or horizontal, okay, and then you can also change your theme colors over here. You can also manually pull like you did in Excel. You can make it bigger manually, okay, and you can right click and you can change the row height, you can delete, you can put a new record in, etc. They might ask you in the exam to put a new record, say between Susan and Barry, and we would then go pop that in wherever and put the information and pull this down. Okay, but we will discuss that in a later video as well. We can also select on having it in sorting A to Z, Z to A. I could maybe only want to have certain names, just like in a spreadsheet. All right. I think that covers everything that I needed to explain to you. Once again, just remember that you have your design view. This is where all you're designing. Let's say I want to put in, let's say, subjects. Oops. Okay. And later I will show you how we will use our lookup value using the lookup wizard, but we'll do that in our next video, and we'll also look at validation rules and look at the input mask as well. Okay, well, till next time then, take care, and as I say, go and watch the video again, go practice this, and remember to make yourself a fay. In other words, know how your software works that you're going to be using to create databases. You might not be using MS Access like I am. Whatever software you use, make sure that you know how to use it well. Okay, take care then. Bye-bye.